Tier 2 was the best, wasn't it? Like Tier 2 Transmog sets. Wasn't that the best Blizzard have ever done, Marty, in all these years?
I
Yeah.
think
The answer you're looking for. Hello, welcome to Talking WoW. My name is Tom. Over there in his wonderful kitty transmog is Marty.
Mao. Hello, I am here too, and yeah, we are going to review and look at the new tier two. Well, not the new. Well, for some classes, the new tier two sets.
The remastered Tier 2 sets in the World of Warcraft 20-year anniversary patch. And,
Congratulations!
congratulations, yeah, Blizz, you're getting old. I mean, Warcraft, you're getting old. Blizzard's getting old too.
Not us.
Uh,
Not us though.
but to back up my point at the start of the show, Marty, I mean, if you're going to remaster something, you only remaster the best stuff. So there we go. We're going to get into this. This is something we've never done before on here, Marty, is it? So
Yeah, no, and I will have to say that tier two is probably very like have some legendary looks in there that at least if you have been stuck around since the beginning might remember the seeing around in the game and looking up to them and be like, I wish one day I would be that awesome and could raid and get that gear.
I'm still looking up to people with tier 2. I'm not sure if I've completed a tier 2. I might have completed one of them, but yeah, still, it was always weird, wasn't it? Because it was like, oh, you're in like Molten Core where your tier 1 drops in there, but then off the end boss, tier 2 pants drop in there, and then suddenly the rest of it drops in another raid. So it was always a bit weird. It was always a bit funky. But we have good memories of always getting Mage tier 2 pants.
Is this the tier where the headpiece is from the one dragon raid Onyxia as well, or am I mistaken?
It might have been, yeah. That it could have been. It was all over the place. It was scattered around like a scavenger hunt, wasn't it? We should get started with this, Marty, though. Something new for Talking WoW here, doing a little review. And we're going to start off with the Paladin, Marty. And we have a very unique scoring system. We're going to be scoring this, as confirmed by Marty, out of 5 Murlocs. So 5 Murlocs being the best possible score you could get. 0 Murlocs being the worst score you could possibly get. So there we go. There we go. That is the scoring system. And we're going to start here with the Paladin, Marty. Look at this. Look at this. And I apologize to our audio listeners because this is not really a great content for you. Maybe you want to go open up a little link in our show notes.
We'll include the link, and you can go through it with us.
Yeah, sorry. This is definitely a more favorable YouTube episode. But there we go, Marty. The Paladin is here. Remastered. Look at this beauty.
I mean, if you want to speak about iconic looks from tier 2, then I think this is where, this is where you go. I think
this is it.
Paladins are in for a treat. I don't have this full set, like the original set, on my Paladin yet. So this is, and I think I know quite a few people, this is the set that everyone is going for first.
Oh, 100%. Like, if you're not going for this first, like, what are you doing?
So,
you know what I mean? This,
very easy,
like, you're not a Paladin. You're not a true Paladin if you don't go for this set.
Very easy score for me. 5 Murlocs out of 5.
5 Murlocs out of 5. Yeah, there we go. Let's move on, because that is just, taking care of business here. As we move on to a class that wasn't in tier 2 when it came out, Marty, is a little known class called the Death Knights.
It is true. It's a little bit before that time, probably 2 expansions before they arrived. So they got a brand new set created just for this occasion, and I like this. It looks very Death Knighty. This is what I'm thinking. If you say Death Knight to me, I would totally just without doing any changes, just equip this full set. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's you think of Death Knight, think of some sort of shadowy blue, wispy magic off the shoulders there. It's, I would say it's pretty generic Death Knight, pretty generic. I'm going to score this 3 Murlocs out of 5.
Oh, really?
But that's a pretty good score. Yeah, I would say, that's... I don't know, it needs to be more green for me in there. But,
okay.
I know it has to be Death Knight look. And, it's a solid look for Death Knights. I think, they could be moderately happy with this new set for themselves.
Interesting. I'll give it a 4.5. So four full Murlocs.
A half a Murloc.
One cut in half.
To do that?
One cut in half.
Oh my gosh, was it the head? Don't tell us that.
I mean, Death Knights. If anyone can cut a Murloc in half, Death Knights are.
Wow. Well, then the Death Knight would probably cut it in half and then raise it,
exactly.
And then it'd be like a head and legs running around. That's actually really terrifying to think about. We should move on, Marty, to something else that's terrifying, and that is the Dragon Stalker set for hunters. Even when it gets remastered, Marty, I'm still sitting here and I'm like,
You like purple, so I'm like, you might actually give this a high score just because you like the color purple, right?
I do, but I don't know. The thought of wearing a dead dragon. We're just out of Dragonflight, Marty. We've just made friends with dragons, and now we're going back to wearing dead dragons on ourselves. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Right. I mean, I think for me, I think it looks pretty cool, like the look of it, but the color, I'm not a big fan of the coloration of this one.
Yeah, it's, it was always one of those sets where it was like, and honestly, if you own a hunter and you go to the collection tab and look through your tier sets, like I wouldn't blame you if you were in tears looking at your tier sets over the years, because male tier sets always just seem to not quite hit the mark. I will say though, I think I do prefer this remaster than the original.
Yeah.
Only just. And if we are giving half Murlocs, Marty, let me give this 2.5 Murlocs out of 5.
All right. Yeah. I'll settle for a little bit less. I already spent my half Murloc, so so I'll settle on 2.
Up next here we have the Mage tier set, and this actually doesn't look too different from the OG. Obviously, a bit more high res. I mean, like all the sets, but honestly, looking at this one, I can't really tell too much of a difference. I think I need a side by side for this one.
I don't know. I think it. I mean, sure, it probably looks better than better quality than the original one. It should, because it's upscaled version. But I don't know. This Mage Set is just a little bit boring to me.
It's purple though, isn't it? Now we've done 2 purplish sets in a row. So that's.
I mean, I
really
actually think that the color scheme here works quite well with the Mage Set. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me.
I feel like if you're a fire mage, you're not wearing this. You're like,
not.
no, why would I wear these colors if I'm a fire mage? If you're arcane, frost, I don't know. I feel like are you wearing this if you're a fire mage, Marty? That is the question.
I'm not.
I want to know.
I would say it looks like arcane to me, potentially frost, but probably more arcane leaning in my opinion. So I would give it 2 Murlocs. Again,
2 Murlocs. Wow, I'm gonna give it 3, simply because I know we have quite a few mages who watch this show, and I don't want the hate mail.
You don't want portals to random locations.
No, I don't.
Portal roulette.
Moving on here, we have some very iconic sets. The Warrior Set, Marty.
The Warrior Set is so iconic that I think it gets a little bit of a score boost just because it is a little bit iconic. But I also feel like it's good. But there's just something missing.
I don't know. It's like it could have been a Death Knight set. You know what I mean? With those skulls and everything. It's like, oh, hang on, are you a warrior or are you a Death Knight?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, looking at that, I don't think, like, if you showed that to someone who's never played World of Warcraft and you go, is that a warrior or is that a Death Knight? They're gonna say that's a Death Knight, aren't they?
Maybe. Yeah.
But that's I think I like the set. I don't know if I'd wear it on a warrior. I'd wear it on a Death Knight. But that's we can't do that now, right? That's not allowed. But I'm gonna give it three Murlocs,
Okay.
because it still looks good. You know, look at those shoulders. You know, you could cut your apples on those perfectly now. So
I'm on, I'll use my other half of the Murloc and give this one 3.5.
oh, there we go.
Because it got cut on the shoulders. That's how it got cut in half. So, maybe leaning close to 4 with this one.
Up next, again, another iconic set, the Druid set. And I have to say, back in the day, I did not really feel this set. I wasn't in touch with niche or Marty. Looking at this now, however, I have to say, wowzer. This, out of all the sets that have been upscaled, this one, maybe the Paladin one too, it's called a glow up, I think. You know, that's what they call it. And this set, suddenly I'm looking at it going, where have you been all my life?
It definitely looks way better than the original. And I don't know what the difference is, what it is that does it, but it might just be that there's more details in everything, but it looks so good. And it is an iconic set, regardless if you liked the original or not. It is very iconic. Everyone from back then probably knows or have seen people around with this. So I'll go high. I'll go 4 Murlocs.
I'm going 4 Murlocs as well. It's the first one we've agreed on, Marty. 4 Murlocs there for the Druid. And, well, take it away, Marty, for the next one, because I know you have a very close fondness of the Priest class.
I have a fondness for the Priest class because it is my main. So this is definitely one of the first sets that I'm going for, mainly because it's my main. That being said, though, I don't think this necessarily is one of the best Priest sets. I think there are better sets out there, so maybe that might have a little bit of an influence on the score.
I like the shoulders, but that's about it. Nothing else is really doing it for me. And I wonder if it's one of those situations where it's like you've put this one beside the Druid one. You know what I mean? And the Druid one is so vibrant. Even the Warrior one there, you know, you've got these two sets, and you look at the Priest one, you go, ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 2 Murlocs, Marty.
Okay. I was at a 3 Murlocs, but it is potentially also because I just...
That's a Priest bias right there.
Priest bias.
You're allowed Priest biased.
So yeah. Next up, we have another completely new set, because this is a class that wasn't around back then, and it is the Monk. Monk goodness right there. And if I am visioning Monk in my head, this is pretty close to what I'm thinking about, to be fair. I think this is a very cool, very, very cool set.
This is a remix on steroids, isn't it? You know, just looking back to Mop and, you know, playing WoW Remix and unlocking all those Mr. Pandera sets, and now looking at this, the only thing that sort of concerns me, I'm like, where's your face? Like, is that glowing green eyes in there, or how is that working out? I think it is, and you know, that's awesome. You know, it looks like something from Mortal Kombat, and I think, you know, we can all get behind that.
Yeah. 5 Murlocs.
5 Murlocs?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a bit much.
So
I'm giving it 3 Murlocs, but there we go.
This is so good.
Wow.
This is definitely on my list. I mean, I like that we're doing this because now I actually have like a list of, you know, what in the order.
Yeah, you can put this in a spreadsheet now, Marty. Yeah,
exactly.
This is good for you. This is good for you. Up next, we got the Shaman set. The Shaman here, front and center in the middle. And again, I always like the shoulders on this, but to me, this set, it looks very Horde centric, doesn't it? Look at that belt in the middle. That's a Horde set.
I mean, back then, tier 2, it was a Horde set. It was Horde only.
A Horde set.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, one might say it hasn't aged well. That belt is not bifactional.
I mean, yeah, I think overall the set looks nice, but it's too much purple again. What is it with
wow,
purple?
just such hating on the purple.
I
don't get that. I mean, I think if you've got a Horde Shaman, which I don't, I rolled Dark Iron, so I'm never wearing this. It would just it would be like wearing, like a different soccer team's football jersey for me. I couldn't do it. I'd feel uncomfortable. It looks good, looks decent enough. I think it's sort of sitting there at the 3 Murloc.
Three Murlocs.
Actually,
Oh,
I'm gonna give it 2.5 Murloc.
Okay.
I gotta take that down a little bit. I'm gonna use my other half of the Murloc.
I was about to say that we agree once again, and then you changed it. I would say 3 Murlocs as well, and maybe it's a little bit Horde bias because my Shaman is Horde.
That's allowed. Moving on, we are soaring into the skies with. This looks like the new Evoker set, Marty.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this without, it's not for me.
Right. What's your score? You just move on very swiftly. That would be very damning for the Evoker set.
Like my score is 1 Murloc.
Wow, 1 Murloc?
I'm not
that's
impressed.
Brutal.
I'm not impressed by this. I'm sorry.
This was like they had some scraps left over from Dragonflight. They're like, oh, we didn't use that set. Let's make it a tier set. I actually quite like it. I think I'm a bit of a hide helmet type of person though, so I think actually you hide that helmet.
But we're looking at the full set, and that's what we're rating. The score might go up if you hide the helmet, but that's not what we're doing.
Yeah. We'll have to do a totally new video where we hide the helmets and go through them again. I mean, that's definitely what people want to see. I'm going to be a bit more generous. I'm going to give it 2 Murlocs.
Okay. And I mean, it's a shame. My main alt is an Evoker, so there was a chance.
I know you feel real hard done by there.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Warlock, which is an iconic set. I do know that it has purple in it, but it looks really good for the Murloc. For the Murloc? For the Warlock!
Good for the Warlocks, yes. So I played Warlock as one of my first classes back in the day, and seeing this one, like that helmet, the shoulders, even the robe. Actually, I would say that, the remaster of this, it's still, it's not the best, but I think Warlock can kind of get away with, things not quite looking the best because they're Warlocks. And I would wear this on my Warlock. I would wear this with pride. It would make me feel like I'm 20 years younger, and I'd be very, very happy with that. I am going to give this... can I cut another Murloc in half? Can I get this 3.5 Murlocs, Marty?
Sure. I agree with you then. If we can cut another, I can take the other half of that Murloc.
There's so much Murloc guts all over the place in this episode. I'm sorry, everyone.
So, 3.5 Murloc for me as well on this one.
Moving on, Marty, we...
I don't even know.
We have the Demon Hunter. I'm so sorry, Demon Hunters. What did they do? What did you do to deserve this? This is, you've been able to double jump and glide for many expansions now. And, I don't think you deserve a good tier 2 set because you've had that wonderful privilege. Honestly, Marty, I'm just going to say it. 0 Murloc on this one.
Wow, okay. It again is one of those things where I think if you remove the head, potentially...
If you remove everything, it's definitely better.
If you remove the head, potentially the shoulders, then I think it could be a good set.
What are those shoulders?
I don't even know.
What are those shoulders?
I didn't know we could give them 0 Murloc, so I've written 1 Murloc here. But if we can't give them 0, then I might actually do that as well.
Oh, it's like a couple of tier sets merged together. Obviously, we're doing this for a bit of fun. Obviously somebody designed this thing as well, so it's just a bit of fun, just our opinions. Obviously, a lot of hard work went into all these sets, and this is all subjective. Just want to put that out
art
there.
Is objective.
Absolutely. And before we scuttle into the shadows, Marty, and end this excuse of an episode, which you could very much judge yourself as 0 out of 5 Murlocs, we've got I believe the Blood Fang set, Marty. Can we use the word iconic? Have we said it enough?
Yeah,
on this
no,
episode?
no, we haven't. These iconic sets, and this is one of them as well. And I will just jump right in there and be like, let's end on a high note. I originally wrote 4, but I think I'll up that to 5. I actually kind of like this very much.
Wow. Just jumping in there with the 5. I've got a half a Murloc hanging around here. So
No, I
nice
used that. I used that half Warlock.
You used your half.
All right, 4.5. We'll end on 4.5.
Oh, that's my score as
Yeah,
well.
then you
4.5. We're going to end on an agreement there. I think, rogues have had a bit of a hard time recently, but they're back. With this tier set, you can safely say that rogues are back.
You didn't want, in Classic, you didn't want to meet one of those in Strength 1 Veil. Let's just put it
Oh my gosh, no. You saw that set and you knew you were finished. And speaking of finished, that is the end of this episode. What did you think of our review of the tier 2 sets? Did you agree with any of our scoring? Probably not. But if you did, or if you didn't, why not let us know? We're on YouTube. Leave us a comment. We're on social media on the Blue Sky. Really appreciate any comments or feedback that you have about the show. I've been Tom.
I've been Marty.
And we've been talking WoW.
Thanks for tuning in, champion. Did you enjoy this episode of Talking WoW? If so, why not drop a review on your podcast catcher of choice or leave us a comment? You can find Talking WoW on
Blue Sky
or YouTube over at Talking WoW. Hope to see you again soon.